What's up, all you crazy hippies out there in Hippies Chopper Corner Land? I got a great video for you today. This video is going to be called The One That Got Away. And as you'll see, I've got a collage of photos out here because I hadn't figured out yet how to make them pop up in my video because, as you guys know, I have an editor. But I thought I would get a video in for you this week since June and July were like really busy and it's extremely hot in this shop and I didn't film near as much. I thought I'd throw a video at y'all this week. So the Born Free video will be out Sunday at 5 p.m. You guys be on the lookout. We'll do a live premiere. That way we'll have a chat going. But I want to talk about a few of the bikes, where we're at with them, and a couple of changes we made in the shop. And then we'll get to that one that got away. Of course, I have a couple. But before we get too far into it, let's go check out my buddy Slick at Shovelhead Custom Cycles on YouTube. He has got a fleet of motorcycles that range from everything, man. All the classics, OEM originals. He's got really cool ass choppers, and he's fun to watch. He's got a sick, funny sense of humor, and he's my brother from another mother. And my buddy Ralph at It's My Time, Let's Go. And no, it wasn't just a coincidence. I had his video playing where he's wearing one of my shirts, but it helped the cause a little bit. Ralph, what's up? I see you up there getting that guy's bike ready to go. Yes, aftermarket parts are a nuance. I constantly buy stuff and then have to modify it. Where when Slick orders a part for an OEM motorcycle, that part fits like it's supposed to fit. So that being said, Panhead, the guy that bought it, Ralph, he was in town. You guys will see him in the video coming up on Sunday, the Born Free video. Ralph was here, spent a couple of days, him and his wonderful wife. But Ralph needed some changes. Keith Falk from Texas bought the Panhead, and he wanted a few changes made. Well, he paid me my asking price without question. So I chromed the pipes for him and had the bike repainted because it had a lot of nicks and scratches on it. So really proud of that paint. Got that micro flake in it, man. My painter did an amazing job. But Keith didn't like the Z-bars, so we're gonna run them on the OG Gangster chopper I'm building for me. I put the original bars back on the Panhead. What are we gonna do? We're gonna put Pete some forward controls on it, and I've got those on that Evo over there, or I've got just all kind of stock on the shelf over there. I can put him together a set of forward controls, and I'm gonna chrome the sissy bar for him. So that's where we're at with that. I don't know when we'll get back to getting to build that bike. I'm not quite sure. I guess when time and money allows. The David Mann bike, adjusted the float bow, and it still wants to give me that bog at a certain throttle area, but I learned last Saturday night when F-Bomb and I were riding back from West Tennessee that I could power through it. So I was able to, it's not any fun, it sucks, but I can power through it. These two here, these are just future chopper builds, man. Anybody serious about wanting to build a chopper, I'm into both of these bikes relatively cheap, and I will pass that savings on to you. Especially this one. This one's already hardtailed. I think if you didn't get too crazy with what you wanted, there's potential there for me to build you a chopper for 10 grand. So think about it, get at me, send me an email, hippiechapter56@gmail.com, and let me know. This one will probably be a future build for me at some point. My next goal is I'm gonna get knee deep back into this one. I'd planned on doing it tonight, and tonight got away from me. But you'll see here in a few minutes in the video that I'm getting prepared to work on it. I do have to take time here and there to jump over and throw some forward controls on that. Not gonna put a lot of effort into the OG chopper right now. I've got it mocked up, but it's just gonna have to sit on the burner for a while I get this one completed because I need to get it done. That's gonna be y'all's 2025 raffle bike, and I will let everybody know when the time comes. I will not even start selling tickets for this bike till it's 100% complete. When I say complete, I mean it's painted, powder coat, and chrome, engine's running. I got all the bugs worked out of it, and I'm ready to just sign the title and hand it over to the new owner. Until then, we're not going to do anything with it. But I've added some shelves. A buddy of mine, shout out Mike at Hillbilly Choppers. You guys have seen him. He's got my Evo chopper, and he's finishing it up for me. And sadly, we had one of the hydraulic lifters had collapsed, and we didn't realize the damage it had done. So we got in there and we realized that it had gouged out one of the lobes on the cam. So we didn't know that. We just knew we had a collapsed lifter, so we were putting new push rods, new lifters, new push rod tubes in it, and we're going to try to get it back up and going. And then just as we were rolling the engine over to get ready to put the new lifters in, that's when we looked down and we saw one of the lobes, the very first lobe coming out of the engine was gouged. You know, it had done eating through the heat treat, and we were down to just metal. You know, that bike might have had 20 miles on it before it just grenaded the engine maybe. So it'll be up and running real soon. I just ordered the cam, and we're putting in a steel breather gear. It's got a plastic one in it. But I added these shelves just to hold stuff for me. But one of the things I needed to do for that bike, because your hardware, when you build a bike, it goes a long way with the fit and finish. You know, so I was bad about getting down to the end and just using old hardware off my scrap. So I went to Lowe's and just stocked up on a bunch of hardware. Stuff I needed. Rubber washers, chrome acorn nuts. I brought several different sizes. I bought spacers, because you never know when you're going to need spacers and stuff like that. Now that I got that handy dandy little shelf. Yes, and that's that beautiful badass motor, man. We totally went through that motor, split the cases, all new bearings, races, everything, man. That motor is timed and ready to rock and roll, man. But like I said, this video is going to be about the one that got away. So let me get y'all set up on the camera stand here. There we go. I think that's good. And we'll talk about a few of these. I hope that I've got the camera right. And I guess everybody that's ever built or even had bikes has that bike that got away. And the one that got away was early, not early on, but it's probably been 5 or 6 years ago. And I really hope the camera will do that picture some justice. I'll do my best to hold it up and let y'all guys get a good look at it. But I'll take the camera and pan over these as they're sitting on the table and let y'all get a good look at them. But that was a really cool chopper, man. I built a mean ass exhaust for that bike. Like I said, man, I truly hope that, you know, the camera is doing it some justice and there's not a glare on there that's just making you guys crazy. I got quite a few different pictures of it. Some of them are close-ups, man. And I did that so you could see the chrome. I spent about $3 grand in chrome on this bike. And I'm sorry, me not standing behind the camera, it's hard to tell what my angle is. But just the seat and the exhaust I built for that bike was just amazing, man. I was so proud of that bike, man. It was a really fun build. I absolutely enjoyed building it. And I'll show you what it looked like when I got it. So it was already a chopper when I bought it. So I basically just had to strip it down and build it back like I wanted. If you'll notice, I built the custom exhaust for it. I built the custom seat for it, the custom sissy bar. Had all the chrome done, a new tank for it, and just an amazing banging paint job, you know. I think I've only got one picture of it in the mock-up stage. That was at my brother Big Sexy shop. Y'all hear me talk about him all the time, and him being the reason I have Hippie's Chopper Corner, man, was just the countless hours I spent at his shop. Thousands of miles back and forth, because he lived like 130 miles from me, but I had my own bedroom at his house, man. And you'll notice the bike in the background, that belongs to a brother of ours. We call him Shine. He's an older gentleman. Hell, he's in his 70s now. I think that's a 76 FX, and Big Sexy built that one on his own, and that's the one that Big Sexy won 3 trophies at that same bike show that I won 3 trophies at. So that's that one. And then I don't have many pictures of this one. I definitely don't have any mock-up pictures of this one, but this bike's in Sweden right now. It's a 78 Shovelhead, 93-inch stroker motor, 3-inch open primary belt. If you go back and look at my very first short, I think, on my channel, you'll see me kickstarting this bike outside in front of my shop right there. But that's probably the tallest seat I'd ever built, the tallest sissy bar. We didn't have a chromer back then, so we were powder coating everything. But when I say basket case, this bike right here literally came to me in baskets. It was in milk crates, boxes. The frame had the back wheel, and it had a just a stock FX front end on it. That was a 6-over or an 8-over jammer, an original jammer from the 70s, front end on it. Super cool bike. Wound up selling that bike to a guy in Sweden, and I took that bike to Charleston, South Carolina, and put it on a container ship and sent it to Sweden. And 2 months later, the guy sent me a DM, told me he had the bike, and it fired on the second kick. So I was like, hell yeah. That's the only bike in the past 10 years I've had that's hurt me trying to start it. When I had the timing way too hot right here in this shop. And it was in the summertime, 6 or 7 years ago. I was right about where I'm at now. I didn't have this table. The bike was about right here, and I got to playing with that timing plate. And man, I went to kick that thing, and she kicked back on me, and I rode around in this floor, and I cried. Oh my God, that bike like to hurt me that day. Next, let's move on to the one that got it started. So here's what it looked like when I bought it. Little 76 iron head. That was probably about 12 years ago, I had to guess. This is what got me started in old bikes. I don't know, I was late 30s, maybe 40 years old when I got I was in the club already. I got a wild hair up my ass, and I wanted an old bike, and didn't know anything about old bikes, and wanted to get one, and Big Sexy found that one, and I think we wound up getting that bike with a title for $1,400. And then again, that long ago, I don't have a lot of documentation, but here I am. This is me in Big Sexy's original shop. He had just a little block building before he built his nice shop, and I didn't have this shop here. I don't even remember where I lived back then, but we had hardtailed it, and I don't know what I was over there doing. I was doing something to it. We were in the middle of putting the bike back together. That was a 76. It was kicking electric, so was that an XL, XLC? I don't know. I don't know much about the Sportster designations, but that was what it looked like. That was me working on it, and then here is the final product. That's what it looked like when we got her done. No crazy sissy bar, no crazy seat. Just had some springs in it. Simple gas tank. I tell you what, man, I kicked myself in the butt on that tank. I had an original paint AMF, the blue AMF with the swoop stripes. What is it? 3 or 4 colors. What is it? Red, white, and orange S stripes or whatever. Y'all know the one I'm talking about. And Big Sexy begged me to just clear coat that and not paint over it. He goes, "Hippie, you don't know how hot those tanks are and how popular they are." And I didn't, but I just knew I didn't want my bike to have that. So I sandblasted it down and had it powder coated blue. That was that one. And then I think from that one, we built that one. I think that was the progression. And then the third one I did with Big Sexy was that one right there. That was the third one we did, and then of course he got killed. From there, we move on. And that was a pretty good looking Sportster when I bought it. You know, it had 6 over tubes. It had a whole bunch of TC Brothers stuff on it. But I think that's a 96 Evo Sportster 1200. All chromed out. I think I got that bike for $2 grand. And it had a really nice paint job. House of Color, Dr. Pepper purple. Cool dude over in Centerville sold me that bike. I've only got one picture in mock-up stage. And that's me wearing some shorts, sitting on it. Those aren't the bars we wound up running, but they were some bars we put on it. And that is a twisted throttle or twisted chopper 200 front end. And if you guys caught my the run out there at Loretta Lynn's, the Music City Motorcycle and Music Revival video that I did, if you hadn't caught it, go back and catch it. There's a chick sitting on this bike. Well, I built that bike. There it is. There's my proof of it right there. I just showed y'all. But I ran into her there. They rolled by me on it. I looked, and then I had to take a double look, and I said, "Oh, fuck, that's my bike." And I was like, "Hey, pull over." So I got to have a really cool conversation with her about building that bike. And then we only got a couple more guys, and then we'll wrap this video up. But here is a really cool bike, and I don't know if everybody out there is going to know just how special this bike is. This wasn't my bike, okay? It was blown to a very dear friend of mine who had back surgery, and unfortunately, he could not ride anymore. But the bike had sat for a few years. I had to go through it, get it running. Super cool. Probably the most immaculate one on the market right now. That is a 1998 Heritage Softail Springer. They only made 3,000 of those in 98. They're numbered. And I think that was 714. And I laugh at the number 714. Because those of you out there that know what 714 means, the old lemon 714s, if you're 50 years or older, you might know what I'm referring to. We won't say it because of YouTube. That bike's super special simply because it has what we call the peanut butter and jam paint scheme. It was super popular. There's one of these in the Harley Davidson Museum in Milwaukee. That's what makes the bike special. If it was just a regular, nice, clean, oh, and this bike was all original. Had 5,000 miles on it. Still had the original tires on it. With 5,000 miles on them. No dry rot. I still wouldn't trust them, but bike was all original, man. Super cool bike. Just any other paint scheme, they did a red and white one, and I think they might have done a black and gold one. Hell, they're worth 10 to 12 grand. You might not believe it, but because of the paint scheme on that bike and that bike being all original and 5,000 miles, it's one for an auction for like Meekum or something. It's a $15,000 motorcycle, you know, all day long. that was a customer of mine, so that was a pleasure to work on. And I've had all kind of bikes to talk about in and out of here, but and I don't have seller's remorse from the Panhead just yet. I might. But out of all of these, I'll tell you the one that got away that hurts me. First, I want to talk about, of course, the Panhead. The one sitting there, the one from the beginning of the video. That's me and my brother John Boy. See that long boy chopper he's got? We're down in Florida on our way to Willie's Tropical Tattoo. Those of you that know anything about Daytona, Tattoo Willie down there puts on a huge chopper show every year called Willie's Chopper Time, and we went over there and put our bikes in that. And John Boy won an award. I didn't win anything because I was just a regular old Panhead chopper, but that's an actual Denver's chopper from Denver's Choppers out in San Bernardino. You know, Denver Mullins and Mondo. Mondo's still keeping Denver's chopper going. But it's the Panhead, and I've got a picture of my beautiful wife, little mama standing there next to my bike. There's John Boy's behind me. That's us in the parking lot in the show. I think if you look close on the headlight, you can see the little sticker that's got my number on it for people to vote for me. But a picture of what it looked like when I bought the Panhead. Told you I got that bike from a guy in another club. He was a clubber, so it had black and yellow colors on it because that was his club colors. But it had an original spool hub wheel on it from the 70s, 6 over tubes on it. But I stripped it down to just the drivetrain. Everything just the drivetrain. I kept the frame, the motor, and the drivetrain, and then built it back like I wanted to build it, you know. Here it is with the same fender, but I'd built my seat pan, I'd built my sissy bar, I'd got me a Springer and put on it, got me some different handlebars and put on it. And then here's the final mock-up of it. Right there as I'm building the Panhead. I hadn't put the tricked out exhaust on it yet because it used to have an exhaust that swooped up way out the back. I hadn't put that on it yet. But that's my Panhead. And for those of you that might not believe it, but this was the David Man bike during the early mock-up stages when I couldn't decide which way I wanted to go with it. You know, I was so back and forth. I had that little Mustang tank, little Wassel tank, that actually wound up going on that Honda CB750 chopper that I had. Look back through my catalog and you'll see videos on it. Pretty cool little bike. But, guys, out of all the ones I've got documentation on, everybody right now, jump in the comments and tell me out of all the bikes I've shown you, which one is the one I have the most remorse for. And you can exclude the Panhead because I'm not feeling it yet. I probably will, but I'm not feeling it yet. No, guys, it's that one right there. On a whim, I don't even think I was serious, guys. And you can't see it, but oh my God, the detail and the flake and the craftsmanship my brother put into that tank, it was just some amazing paint. And everything I had on there had panels on it. You know, the gas tank had panels, the oil tank had panels, and he put that on everything, even the rear fender. But that's the bike that got away that I wish I still had. But back to my story. On a whim, I put it on Marketplace for $13,000. And including the cost of the bike, it probably cost me about 12 grand to build it, maybe 13. You know, I didn't make any money, broke even at best. And I had a guy from Kentucky, after I don't know, maybe 2 days, this guy from Kentucky sitting, I had all kind of messages on it. You got to filter through who you think's bullshit and who's serious. Dude from Kentucky said, I want it. I will be there Friday night by 7 p.m. I know it's late, blah, 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 blah. Shit, no, man, he showed up about 6:30 that Friday night with 13 grand cash. Didn't even try to haggle with me. He goes, that's what I've been looking for. But that's actually was an 83 FLT drivetrain. So it had a 5-speed transmission in it, but it had a Paco frame. Because I've told y'all in the past, the FXR and the FLT drivetrains were all rubber mounted. Even Shovelhead, they had 5-speed rubber mounted transmissions and engines, meaning the motor didn't set on the frame. The motor hung off the top, it hung off the front, the transmission bolted the back of the motor, and there were these gears that come off of it, and the swing arm bushing bolt for the swing arm went through those ears on the transmission, and everything was rubber mounted. So Paco actually built a custom frame for it. And if you'll look, right there under the oil tank, you see those ears right there. See those ears? That was made to hold the transmission up. See, there's no seat post in that frame. There's no need for one. Right there is where the engine mounted. The engine and the transmission mounted right there. It mounted up in the front just like a regular Shovelhead would. But Paco had to build that frame. So, pretty cool bike. And yeah, I am sad it got away. So, all that being said, guys, that's why this video is going to be titled The One That Got Away. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. I will put it out there and let it ride on YouTube. So until then, be on the lookout next Sunday for the Paradise Roadshow video. All right, guys, Hippie's Chopper Corner, home of the sketchy chopper. We keep them sketchy all the time. Oh, y'all want to see if we can kickstart a couple of these bikes? I'll try. I got no way to edit out if they don't fire up, so. Let's see if we can get one cranked off. You guys seem to like to see that, so. Gas is on. Uh-oh. Did I get that too tight? Huh. Well, something's happened with my throttle cable. I must have jammed something up when I put these bars on it. We'll see if we can fire the Dave Man bike up. So, not a bad way to end the video, I guess. See if we can get a bike to fire up. Let's give it a try. Give it a try. A little fuel. A couple of primers here. Hope she's not in gear. Little fuel. She tried. Hippie's Chopper Corner, home of the sketchy chopper, where we keep them sketchy all the time.